Living with a narcissist can be incredibly challenging and an emotionally draining experience. Narcissists often display manipulative and self-centered behavior that can take a toll on those around them. They will do whatever they can to bait you into a fight, and this is to get supply. And the need for supply with them can come in many forms. Narcissistic supply refers to the attention, validation, and admiration that narcissists seek from others to bolster their self-esteem. And understanding the various ways in which narcissists obtain supply is crucial for recognizing and protecting oneself from their manipulative tactics, because they get supply in all kinds of different forms. One of the ways that they get supply is through their achievements. They like to showcase their accomplishments, their talents, or success stories. They seek admiration and praise for their achievements, whether at work, in relationships, or personal endeavors. And these grandiose displays act as a constant reminder of their superiority, reinforcing the narcissist's perceived self-importance. And notice I said perceived. So let's look at ways in which they manipulate in order to get that needed supply. They will use charming and manipulative behaviors. Narcissists are often charismatic and skilled at manipulating others. So by using their charm, their wit, and their charisma, they create an image that is appealing to others. So through compliments, flattery, and false charm, they get to gain control and admiration, ultimately securing their desired supply. The second one is emotional manipulation. They'll exploit the emotions of others, often playing the victim or guilt-tripping their target. This manipulation technique allows them to elicit empathy, sympathy, and attention from others, ensuring a constant source of emotional supply. Gaslighting is another one. Gaslighting is a psychological manipulation technique that narcissists employ to distort reality and make their victims doubt their own perceptions. So by undermining the victim's confidence, their memories, and their beliefs, narcissists, they get to secure a position of power and control. The victim may feel constantly off balance and seek reassurance and validation from the narcissist, providing a continuous supply. Idealization and devaluation. Narcissists often engage in a pattern of idealization and devaluation. They initially put their targets on a pedestal, showering them with affection and compliments and love. However, once they think that they have secured their target's attention and loyalty, they begin to devalue and criticize them. And this cycle creates a constant need for validation and supply from the victim. The fifth one is toxic relationships. Narcissists, they thrive in toxic relationships where they can constantly receive supply from their partners. So by creating an environment of constant conflict and drama, they ensure that they remain at the center of attention, receiving the validation and emotional energy that they crave. Social media validation. With the advent of social media platforms, narcissists now have a new avenue through which they can obtain supply. They carefully create an online persona that showcases that idealized self-image, seeking validation through likes, comments, and followers. And this platform, it allows them to constantly receive the attention and admiration that feeds their narcissistic supply. And lastly, the one I want to mention is fantasy and daydreaming. Narcissists often resort to creating fantasies and daydreams where they are the center of attention or adoration. And these fantasies, they feed their grandiose self-image and allow them to escape the reality of potential criticism or rejection. Through this internalized source of supply, they can maintain a level of self-worth even when external validation is lacking. So now let's elaborate on the gaslighting and devaluation for a moment. And when the narcissist feels that they are lacking supply, with narcissists, there are days where they may feel bored because they get bored easily, where no one is really noticing them, for example. And so they might turn to you to tell a great story in an attempt to impress you. So if the gloating works for them, they get the supply. But if you're too busy or uninterested, that to them is a no. And they do not do no very well. Matter of fact, they do not do no at all. So at this point, they'll try to provoke you through insults, or they might not reply to the next time you ask a question. They'll be cold towards you. And many times you'll have no idea where this behavior came from. And this behavior is really well known with a covert narcissist. If you ask them if something is bothering them or what's wrong, they'll deny that anything is wrong. However, days will go by where they'll be vindictive in all sorts of ways. This vindication is also done covertly. They might cancel an important event with half a smile on their face, or they'll ignore the task that they were supposed to complete and keep you on hold. And that is baiting. They're doing everything that they can to upset you. In their mind, you deserve punishment. They really believe that. They don't think like we do. Meanwhile, here you are walking on eggshells, knowing they're angry, but not knowing why. And you're trying to make sense of what's happening. You think that you can reason with them. You can't. There is no reasoning with them and trying to get them to understand at all. They don't need clarity. They understand full well their objective. And the objective is to make you pay for making them feel bad the day that you ignored them. Then being baited like that doesn't necessarily have to come from you. If, for example, a friend of theirs hasn't responded to a text message, or someone at work got a raise or a promotion, or that nothing special happened at work that day because they need to feel like a star all the time, now they'll come home and once again, they'll do whatever it takes to provoke a fight, even if it takes 3 days for the fight to take place. But meanwhile, while waiting for the ultimate form of supply, they're still getting supply from you because you're walking on eggshells. The fact that you're afraid makes them feel powerful, makes them feel in control, that they can control you like a puppet. You might even be making their favorite meals with the intention of calming them down. That's a survival tactic for you, right? But to them, they aren't seeing you as sweet and loving. They're seeing you as a stupid idiot that they can control. Plus, again, all attention is on them. Even when you're walking on eggshells, all attention is on them because your mind is preoccupied with what's happening. However, no matter how much supply they're getting during the eggshell walking days, they won't be satisfied until the ultimate goal is reached, the fight, at which point you will now be drained of all energy. In conclusion, understanding the methods by which narcissists secure narcissistic supply is crucial in recognizing and protecting ourselves from their manipulative behavior. By being aware of their tactics, we can develop healthy boundaries, maintain our self-worth, and protect our emotional well-being from the grasp of narcissists. To maintain your mental well-being and protect yourself from the negative effects of living with a narcissist, it is crucial to be aware of what not to do in such a situation. One is don't justify. Narcissists tend to have inflated egos and always require validation for their actions. However, justifying or rationalizing their behavior will only fuel their sense of entitlement. So it is essential not to make excuses for their actions or provide explanations that enable their manipulation. The next one is don't argue. Engaging in arguments or debates with a narcissist never ends well. They are highly skilled at twisting discussions and using manipulation tactics to make you question your own thoughts and feelings. Arguing with a narcissist can be an incredibly challenging and frustrating experience. You'll never get your point across. Narcissists have a strong need to be right and feel superior at all times, which can make any attempt at rational discussion or disagreement futile. And here are some potential outcomes when trying to argue with a narcissist. Firstly, the narcissist is going to engage in manipulation tactics to divert the conversation away from the topic at hand. They might use gaslighting techniques, making you doubt your own perception and memory, or employ deflection methods to shift blame onto others. You mostly. They often employ a range of strategies to ensure that they remain in control of the conversation and maintain their own status. Secondly, arguing with a narcissist can escalate into a power struggle. Narcissists have an overwhelming need to win, and any form of disagreement can be seen as a challenge to their superiority. They will become hostile, aggressive, or even resort to personal attacks to assert dominance. And this can result in emotional distress, anxiety, and a feeling of helplessness for the other person involved in the argument. And lastly, even if you manage to present solid evidence or logical reasoning, a narcissist may still refuse to accept any form of criticism or acknowledge their mistakes. Their self-centered nature makes it difficult for them to comprehend their own flaws or accept responsibility for their actions. They might continue to deny or rationalize their behavior, leaving you feeling unheard and frustrated. So overall, arguing with a narcissist is often an uphill battle that leads to nowhere. So save your energy. It can be emotionally exhausting and can even damage your own well-being due to the constant manipulation and gaslighting. So avoid being drawn into arguments that serve no purpose other than to drain your energy and feed into their need for control. The next one is don't support the behavior. Refusing to support the narcissist's behavior means not enabling their sense of superiority. By withholding praise or reinforcement for their actions, you reduce the validation they crave. It is crucial to set boundaries and refuse to provide unwavering support, as it only reinforces their behavior and perpetuates the cycle. The next one is don't absorb or personalize. Living with a narcissist can expose you to constant criticism, blame, and emotional abuse. So it is important to recognize that their behavior is not a reflection of your self-worth or abilities. So refrain from internalizing their negative comments and toxic attitudes, as doing so can damage your self-esteem and overall mental well-being. None of this has to do with you. The things that they do to you, they'll do to anyone else. It doesn't matter if it's someone with a ton of degrees, a great career, and stability. It's all about their fears, their insecurities, and their needs to be seen. And they'll seek ways to be seen any way that they can in order to feel the power that they don't feel inside. And you know, I say it isn't about you, but in a way it is though. If you're attracting a narcissist in your life and hanging on, it is because you yourself have your own feelings of unworthiness. And the encounter is an opportunity, although it's not fun, but it is an opportunity to heal those parts of self that feel unworthy. Life is a school that serves to help us grow if we adhere to it. Moving on, we have don't seek revenge. When dealing with a narcissist, it may be tempting to seek revenge or take vengeance against them for their hurtful actions. However, it is essential to understand that engaging in such behavior can be detrimental. And these people are skilled at vengeance. So whatever you do to them, you will get it back double or even tenfold. They are relentless. They also hold grudges for a very, very long time. So keep that in mind. Narcissists thrive on power and control, and any attempt to retaliate or expose their true nature will only give them ammunition. So while it might seem satisfying to seek revenge on a narcissist, it is important to consider the potential consequences. Instead of engaging in such behavior, it is wiser to focus on your own emotional well-being by establishing healthy boundaries and surrounding yourself with a supportive network that can help in the healing process. And the last one is don't partake or participate. Living with a narcissist can involve observing their exploitative or unethical behavior. However, it is crucial to not partake or participate in any actions that compromise your moral values or your integrity. By distancing yourself from their behavior, You maintain your own sense of self, and you stand firmly on the side of empathy and respect. When we participate in these arguments or circular conversations, we lower our own standards. So remember to lift your head up and tell yourself that you have more class than that. Living with a narcissist can be an overwhelming experience, but by understanding what not to do, you can protect yourself from their manipulations and maintain your mental well-being. And then adding an addendum here before I close this conversation, do remember that when you disarm a narcissist by not participating in futile arguments, they will most likely try harder to bait you, so make sure to protect yourself. For me, one way I stopped participating in his threats is every time that he started a fight and threatened to leave, my response was always, bye. Eventually, he stopped the threats. Okay, so that is all for today, and we shall see you in the next video. Bye for now.